a walkover. Week 13, Pittsburgh Steelers, Buffalo Bills. If you cannot tell by the tears in the eyes, the thrown all over badge, it is windy here in Pittsburgh. If you are sitting inside, you feel your house shaking. It feels like the Wizard of Oz. I get it. Wicked 2 dropped this weekend, but the city, the North Shore, Acrisure City, it all took it way too seriously. Way too seriously. Because it is chilly and it is windy here for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills game, which might work in the Pittsburgh Steelers' favor. That means it's going to be a hard-nosed, run-the-football type of event. James Cook is a very good running back, don't get me wrong, but Buffalo's defense is not good against the run. And if I'm putting the Steelers' offense in the hands of Kenneth Gainwell and Jaylen Warren, I'm feeling a lot better than in the hands of a banged-up Aaron Rodgers. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about how the Pittsburgh Steelers have made a change defensively that is huge. That for the first time all season, first time in many years it kind of feels like, the Pittsburgh Steelers have decided that they will focus on the better player instead of the bigger name. And that is what they did today. They have made Darius Slay inactive to start Asante Samuel Jr., who was called up from the practice squad this weekend and will make his Steelers debut. That's huge, because if you have been watching the Pittsburgh Steelers football team this season and their defense, you have watched Darius Slay struggle many, many times. And to have a guy in Asante Samuel Jr. and to use him means that you are investing in the later. In the later. Think about that for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a second here. The Steelers are not focused on today and the big, giant, future potential Hall of Famer in Darius Slay, but instead a guy who's 26 years old, who comes in here, who could be a future piece to this defense, and who has a ton of potential. But you had to bench a big name, and that's surprisingly. Happy holidays. If the Steelers, if this works for them, if this actually works out in their favor, and Asante Samuel turns into a player that they could utilize this season and the future, they have now just added a building block that they desperately need to a position that they desperately needed in. They don't have that cornerstone corner. And I'm not saying Asante is that. What I'm saying is that him and Joey Porter Jr. are a very good place to start heading into the offseason. A very, very good place to start heading into the offseason. But I think more importantly, it just shows Mike Tomlin's open-minded right now. And that's huge. Mike Tomlin's never open-minded, ever. He's the most narrow-minded, stubborn head coach in the NFL, and he made a shocking decision. I don't know about you, but that would get the juices flowing if it was me. If I was the Pittsburgh Steelers fan preparing myself for Week 13 Pittsburgh Steelers Buffalo Bills. It is rowdy here. It's pretty packed on the North Shore. I'd say a pretty decent amount of Bills fans, as you can see behind me. Not overflowing, but pretty decent amount of them here. This one is going to be more hard-nosed than I think people are going to realize with how windy it is here. And more of a ground and pound whose running back could be better. I think James Cook is the better name. I think James Cook is the better overall running back. I'm not ruling out good old Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell and what they can do on the ground at home with a fan base that knows how important this game is and that it could decide the AFC North. Just saying. It's an exciting day. Here we go.